All right, we back. Mind Our Greatness Podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Boss Hawk Po to the Dough, B Houston. We the Mind Our Greatness Podcast, here to talk any and everything. We're going to switch the topics up, not today, but stay tuned because we're going to switch it up. Today's topic is going to be our reaction to the fight, Canelo Alvarez, Jamel Charlo, and also we're going to do the big Colorado watch. B Houston going to lead that topic in. So let's get this right. Let's get this popping. Let's get this cracking. All of that. We're gonna start this thing off talking about Jamel Charlo, Canelo Alvarez. I'm gonna lead that off. Um, Watching that fight, I wasn't fulfilled. You know, it was a sense to me where I feel like we could have got more. Um, look, Looking at the fight, I feel like Charlo could have did more, and I feel like Canelo is not the same fighter that he once was. He wasn't throwing combinations. He was throwing a lot of single shots. After round six, he seemed to get a little tired and, you know, was just kind of just, I think the movement of Charlo caused him to get more tired. But either way it go, old Canelo would have got a smaller guy out of there. That's what it is. He would have put punches together. He would have been able to finish off Jamel Charlo. He wasn't able to do that. He won via unanimous decision. And I just look at Canelo like if he get in there with a David Benavidez or a Demetrius Andrade or any of those guys like that, they're gonna pose an issue for him. Guys who got more power than him or who are possibly more skillful than him, it's gonna be an issue. So for Charlo, it seemed like he just kind of took this fight to get paid. That's what it looked like. But spin on it, you could say that okay, the weight, was an issue. You know what I mean? You can also say that power was an issue. That's probably why he was a little gun shy, you know. But overall, I did not like the performance of either fighter. It was distasteful. It was kind of wasting my money. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I just think that Charlo need to go back to 154, but gradually. I don't think he needs to go directly to 154. I think he needs to fight at a catch weight with somebody and then go back down. That's the logical thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he needs to go directly back to 154 because that can affect his performance as a fighter. So he needs to be careful and gradually go back down. But B, I want to get your insight on the fight. Let us know what you thought about the fight.
Uh, I'm in agreement with you. Let's just say it left a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm talking about the whole card. Like the whole card was just, I wouldn't say an embarrassment, but it was a disappointment in a way. And I'll go in and I'll start with the Lubin and Ramos fight. It judges, who was y'all looking at? Ain't no way Lubin won that fight. I don't care if you want to make it a split, unanimous, however you want to put it. If you're gonna do that, make it a draw. Make him have a reason to have a rematch. Make it a draw, cause there's no way Lubin won that fight. Ramos, came out punishing the guy in the earlier rounds. He came out jabbing with conviction. He came out throwing combinations to the body with conviction, and Lubin didn't even really throw any punches in the beginning of the match. So I don't understand how y'all come up with Lubin winning that match. And yeah, Ramos did take a couple rounds off towards the end. I wouldn't even say a couple, maybe a few. He took a few off. He thought he had it in the bag. He started coasting way too early. But in the sport of boxing, as a coach, as a boxer, when you competing, there's no such thing as coasting in boxing. When you in that ring, you finish the job. That's what your coaches should be teaching. You finish the job. I don't care how much you think you're up by. Once you get into the 12th round and you know you're going against a guy who has that one punch knockout ability, okay, maybe you could take a round off or so. But no, there's no coasting. Ramos, that's on you. Lubin, you didn't win, my guy. I'm sorry to tell you, but you didn't win. But let's move on to the next fight. I'm gonna go ahead and get into Canelo and Charlo. I didn't like the way Charlo carried the weight. He didn't look good. he per se to me looked it kind of dehydrated. He you didn't see the definition in the abs as usual. He didn't have the glow, the perspiration going before the match even started. So that's how I knew he wasn't carrying the weight well. Not only that, he seemed a tad bit slower when it came to reacting and using his jab. You know, he was moving well. He was still getting around the ring well, which posed a problem for Canelo, which is the reason why he kind of got winded in the later rounds. He did put him down, but I wouldn't say he knocked him down. Charlo, in a sense, took a smart knee. You know, he found his way after he got back up, but at the same time, fight didn't please me at all. Charlo, next for you, like Capo mentioned, slowly move your way back down. Don't go from where you were at all the way back down to 154 because you could shock your system. You could shock your body, and then you never know. You may not recover or recuperate from that. For Canelo, man, it breaks my heart, but it looks like you finally over the hill, baby. And I would hate to say this, and I don't want to say it, but I'd rather you retire while it's good. I don't want you to get in there and we see you go out the other way. But overall, again, nah, this one wasn't it for me. But I'm gonna go ahead and segue into the next topic. We're gonna get into this Colorado watch. My boys, they figured some things out. I'm gonna say this. I didn't take this loss as a negative derogatory loss. I like this loss in a sense because they found their way in the rushing game. Shador Sanders still was doing Shador Sanders. Craig Solomon, or is it Solomon? Silman. There we go. Craig Silman, got a big up on Caleb Williams. He got his first pick of the season, so it is what it is. But let's get into some stats. USC won the game 48-41. Shador Sanders went 30 or 45, 371 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns. He had 50 yards on the ground. He had one rushing touchdown. Excuse me, he did throw one interception. Hankerson for the running backs. Hankerson had 16 carries, 74 yards rushing, one touchdown. Edwards had 12 carries, 44 yards rushing, no touchdowns. This is a team high for Colorado. I like it. This is something great to build off of. Keep your running game going. Keep it intact. This was a team high rushing total for the season, 193 yards on the ground. It was a total team effort. I like it. I like it. Shador Sanders, use your legs more. I mentioned that a while ago. You got to move your pocket. You got to use your legs more. Keep that going though. For the receivers, for Colorado receivers, the Trojans kept Weaver in check. He only had 7 catches, 29 yards, no touchdowns. Jimmy Horn Jr. came up big with 7 catches, 84 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tight end Michael Harrison had 6 catches, 44 yards, and one touchdown. Then you had Durando, the freshman off the bench, my boy Omarion Miller. He snapped for 7 catches, 196 yards, and one touchdown. And I'm talking about the boy wasn't catching regular passes. You know what I'm saying? He was catching some NFL type passes. Tony two tap on the sideline. He was catching some passes sliding to the ground. He catching like in the Matrix. He was leaning back with it, posing with it. I hope y'all got some good pictures of him because that boy gonna be around a long time. He was posing for the cameras. I like how he was working. But like I said earlier, this is a good loss. Oregon, I didn't like that loss too much. It wasn't too much to build off of. But this loss against USC, granted, they do have a weaker defense, but at the same time, this is something good to build off of for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs. What you got to say about that Colorado game, Capo? I would say this to it. If you go back and look at the fourth quarter, I want to say within the last 6 minutes, once USC did what they had to do with the ball and they gave it back over to Colorado. The play calling from the OC, I get it. You trying to build on something, but you might have had a chance to actually take this game in overtime per se, maybe win, because the play calling was too iffy for me. You called a lot of running plays. I think y'all got the ball back with 4 minutes and some change on the clock, and I believe you ran +5 plays, and you took the clock all the way down inside of 2 minutes. So you kind of shot yourself in the foot there. You know you got Shador Sanders. You know you got these receivers clicking, and y'all was finding a way to get the ball back to the offense. So call some play calls. I get it. You may not have wanted to put the ball in the air and give up a takeaway, but USC's defense is not potent like that, and you had the potent offense clicking. So the play calling was a little iffy to me. Like I say, I know you're trying to build on the run game, but let's cut out some of those run plays at that time, because I feel like if you would have got the ball into the end zone quicker, that defense had just got that pick. Served Caleb Williams his first pick of the season. Y'all had just got that pick. I believe if you put your defense back out on the field, they get something done for you, and maybe y'all go into overtime and make it a overtime thriller or something. Maybe y'all get the win. And then don't forget to mention they was missing Charlo Sanders, and they still missing Travis Hunter. Am I saying these two players would have won that game? No, but it would have definitely made a difference. So again, this is a good loss. You can learn a lot from losing. Like, a lot of people take a loss as if, what I'm saying, it's the end of the world, or man, I suck, or man, I can't do this, or man, I should have did this different. No, that's where you really become a great is learning from your losses. You know what I'm saying? If you can build and put something together positive from a loss, then you can always move forward. And the next time you see these teams or this person, whether it's boxing, football, basketball, soccer, whatever, if you can build something off of a loss, then when you win, it's like, I learned something. I taught myself something. I taught my team something. I was positive in a sense to where I got the job done. You know what I'm saying? So overall, again, I take nothing negative from this loss, but at the same time, clean up the mistakes. You got to get away from the slow starts and keep the running game going, and then you never know. Could be a shoe in for that tournament bracket. You could be holding up that big trophy. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say about that. I'm done touching up what I got to touch up. Close us out, K-Po.
All right, man. We did talked about the big fight yesterday, Canelo Charlo. That was a big fight. We talked about the Colorado Watch. We didn't discuss what we need to discuss today. Y'all keep tuning in to the channel. We got more topics, man. We're gonna talk about. We finna start venturing off into other areas. Like I said, man, we're men that do what we say. So whatever we say, we're gonna do. That's what's gonna happen. So when we sit here and make these comments and say, "Hey, we ain't running from nothing," meaning we're not running from any type of topic. We're gonna discuss it. We're gonna review it. So next episode, stay tuned because it's gonna be a different a different way we're gonna go with this. But remember, like, comment, hate, and subscribe. Share these videos, and we gone.